So if a right, positive or negative, cannot be legitimately used to hurt or control the rights of another, how do we deal with the flurry of rights that have been claimed over the years? During the 19th century, people claimed a right to own slaves. This claimed right was supported by both federal law, the Fugitive Slave Act, and the Supreme Court in Prigg versus Pennsylvania. This right clearly hurt and controlled the rights of slaves in America under the claim that they were not persons under the Fifth Amendment. Today, we hear claims of all sorts of positive rights, from health care to housing, from transgender to zoning. We see people claiming the right to tell you how things should be done. It's one thing when the people or states get together and agree that certain things like trials and juries are important enough to place a burden on the people. That is the consent of the governed. However, when an individual or group claimed the right to tell other people how to speak, who they must do business with, and what they are allowed to believe, that is not the consent of the governed, but the tyranny of false rights. And no, government does not have the legitimate authority to tell you to accept their decrees simply because they say so. According to the Declaration of Independence, their only legitimate authority comes from us. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. We, the people, consent to a government's power when it is formed by a constitution. Any power exercised beyond those delegated to the government are illegitimate and illegal. From the case Norton v. Shelby County, an unconstitutional act is not a law. It confers no rights, it imposes no duties, it affords no protection, it creates no office. It is in legal contemplation as inoperative as though it had never been passed. So when governments pass laws placing a burden on you because of some alleged right someone else possesses, if that power was not delegated to them by the Constitution, the act is void. In my view, it's because it was a power not given to government by the consent of the governed.